Hello and welcome to OFC Monthly. My name is Miles Davis. New Zealand's capital, Wellington, was buzzing with anticipation ahead of last month's intercontinental playoff between Oceania champions New Zealand and the world's 10th ranked side Peru. With a place at next year's FIFA World Cup in Russia on offer, the stakes couldn't have been any higher. In this episode of OFC Monthly, we recap the home and away tie between the All Whites and the South Americans, who were desperate to end a 36-year World Cup drought. We visit the Solomon Islands, which has become the first Pacific nation to host a Senior B coaching licence course designed to focus on the specific needs of the local football community. We also pay tribute to one of the Solomon's greatest ever players, Commins Manapi, who sadly passed away last month. We reflect on the second edition of the Education Centre programme, which was overseen by OFC in collaboration with Auckland's One Tree Hill College. We also review Estonia's tour of Oceania and the Football Ferns' trip to Thailand. But let's kick off with the All Whites Intercontinental playoff tie with Peru. Ranked 112 places higher than the All Whites, the South Americans went into the match as overwhelming favourites. But with a sellout crowd behind Anthony Hudson's men in the opening match at Wellington's Westpac Stadium, the hosts were determined to cause an upset. Peru dominated the early exchanges and came close to scoring in the 7th minute after a mix-up by the New Zealand defence. In the second half, New Zealand goalkeeper Stefan Marinovic came to his side's rescue by pulling off two magnificent saves. But the All Whites also created some chances of their own to put the visitors under pressure. In the 85th minute, Ryan Thomas blasted a powerful shot past the post. With the opening match ending in a tense 0-0 draw, the tie remained very much alive. In the return leg in Lima 4 days later, the All Whites were once again forced to withstand an early onslaught. New Zealand's stoic resistance lasted 27 minutes before Jefferson Farfan broke the deadlock to the delight of the home crowd. The South Americans doubled their advantage midway through the second half through Cristian Ramos to extinguish New Zealand's hopes. The final whistle sparked wild celebrations by a football-mad nation that has been waiting since 1982 to qualify for another World Cup. Following the All Whites' failure to book their ticket to Russia, Anthony Hudson's time as head coach had also come to an end. The 36-year-old Englishman, who signed on in 2014, has guided the national team to victory in the OFC Nations Cup in Papua New Guinea in 2016. While New Zealand football has begun the search for his replacement, Hudson has been confirmed as a new head coach of the Colorado Rapids in the MLS. As the fallout from the Intercontinental playoff continued, veteran All White striker Rory Fallon has announced his retirement from all forms of football. Fallon was included in Anthony Hudson's 23-man squad against Peru, but didn't feature across the two legs. The 35-year-old has etched his name into New Zealand football history by scoring the goal that took the All Whites to the 2010 World Cup when he headed home from close range against Bahrain in Wellington in 2009. He went on to play in all 3 of New Zealand's pool matches in South Africa. During his 18 years as a professional, Fallon made 23 appearances for the All Whites, scoring 6 times.
You know, as a young boy, you think that you're going to be playing forever, and then you realise I'm 35 now, and I'm getting to a stage where I don't want to be going into my 40s, not being able to walk. You know, there's all these factors, and I've had 18 years. You know, some people don't even get 1 year. So I'm just truly blessed, truly thankful. Thankful to my wife, to my family, to the fans out there, and even to the people that you know, didn't like me, because they were the ones really that got me up in the morning. The ones that thought I wasn't good enough, or you know, all them types of people. They were the ones that got me up, really, because I wanted to prove them wrong.
Next, We're off to the Solomon Islands, where the country's Football Federation has taken another step towards its long-term development by staging the first ever member association-focused OFC Senior B licence coaching course. OFC Head of Education and Training, Giovanni Fernandez, who travelled to the Solomons to deliver the course, says while previous OFC-led courses have all been regional in their focus, the one conducted in the Solomons was designed to cater specifically for the local football community.
So this was the first OFC-led Senior B license in a member association. What made it unique was the reality-based learning components, where we were able to address specific issues related to their football environment. So we go in terms of the coaching process, their specific characteristics of the players, which impact their learning process, and that way the content and the way that we approach the training sessions was quite tailored in the way that they conducted in their environment. That's the unique part about it, that we were able to tailor the course to their specific needs, of course along the lines of our curriculum. It was incredible. If you look alone in terms of the commitment of the participants during the 8 days we were there, it was incredible. Nonetheless, the Senior B license process, it's a quite lengthy one, and we will actually see the transformation now as they practice again in their competition, in their environment.
While there are plenty of reasons to be excited about the game's development in the Solomon Islands, the nation's football community has suffered a tragic setback with the shock loss of former international Commons Manapi, who passed away in Honiara last month. The 40-year-old former striker had a long club career stretching across Solomon Islands, New Zealand and Australia, and an international record which saw him score over 30 goals in just under 40 matches for his country. He was one of the participating coaches at the first OFC B licence course held in the Solomon Islands, and his passing hit the entire Oceania community hard.
I've had the opportunity to spend time with him over the years. He's a role model, as simple as that. We discussed during the course the many roles we play in our lives. Commons was very aware of that. But above all, he's a football leader. During the course, he had a tremendous impact on all of us, and honestly, we were shocked to hear the news. Don't even know where to go. To be honest with you, I'm speechless. Especially in the Oceania region, if you look at this generation of youth players, they know who Commons is. Commons had a big impact on their passion for the game, and let's hope that his life serves as a model for them growing up and loving the game.
The 2017 OFC Education Centre Football Academy, that operated in partnership with One Tree Hill College in Auckland, recommenced in July this year to provide the returning student athletes another chance to continue their education on and off the field. The inclusion of a New Zealand candidate and the enthusiasm of the returning student athletes from Tonga, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands and Fiji created a unique culture and a fertile learning environment during the 4 months programme. The primary focus was to enhance the participants' football understanding and decision-making under pressure, as well as social development and the establishment of academic competencies in the New Zealand education system.
I'm very happy. I've seen an even bigger change and an even bigger impact than we had last year. The impact was significant in such a short space of time, I think around 13 weeks. But this year we've had about 26 weeks, and the impact has actually been transformational, just in terms of their whole aura, their whole persona, but more so their decision making, their ability to actually identify problems and then try to come up with solutions for those problems in gameplay.
It's absolutely a step up. This program has took a big step forward compared to last year with yeah, with more training sessions and yeah, more to the school, not only in the field and also outside of the field as well.
This time we did a lot of stuff compared to last year. We did a lot of, last year we didn't do much physicals and all, like fitness tests and all, but coming this year we had to do a lot of stuff, but not only in the field but off the field, like experience other football, like futsal and all, and going to places and having fun and all, that we didn't do last year. But this year was pretty mean. I experienced many stuff, like we have fitness tests and all, but I reckon this year was much better than last year, and I'm proud to be here.
This year I had to give up my 5th period just to come training with the boys, so yeah, that's one of the difference. But this year I've been representing New Zealand football, so I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Like playing futsal, playing against international teams, which is like one of my goals to achieve, because that's what my first ever sport that I've played, which is one of my goals that I wanted to achieve, is to play against international futsal teams. Yeah, I've learned a lot with a good coach, Phil. Very, very thankful. So yeah.
Oh, it was good compared to last year, because last year it's all like we came in and then we tried to adjust, but now we like the environment is welcoming, because last year we came like a bit late. It's on September, and then like we have got little things to do, but this year we came a bit early. It's on July, we came on July, so like the amount of work we do, it's a bit like it's a lot, so we have plenty of work in class and football as well. Yeah.
Pleasing that these boys are able to come from different academic systems and then come into a New Zealand academic system, and to still be able to achieve. 2 of the boys in fact actually have overachieved, considering they came in halfway through the year. One of them is halfway towards NCA level 1, and I think that's a huge achievement and a huge credit to his capability, this one boy in particular. So it's very important to keep a track of their academics, to speak regularly with the school, to make sure that they have the right academic support structures around them. But also I use it as it's also part of the program where they know that a big reason that they've come isn't only because of their sporting ability, it's also because of their academic ability back in their home countries. So those are very important, to make sure that both areas are developing equally. But also the social side of them too. Their social development is equally just as important, so that they can create an identity.
School's been really tough coming in the half year in the school year, but I reckon I've done pretty well, because I've catch up to the people, like to the guys who have been doing the work here, and I'm actually working really hard to pass my level 1, because we need 80 credits in order to pass. I just got 50 now, but I think I've done well coming into half term, and I hope that I'll come next year and continue my studies.
The best part of like education, how I learn English, and in football, how I learn to become a professional player in future. Next year I want to go back and I want to make it in my national under-20 to in Tahiti for the qualifier for the World Cup.
It's been good for me. I've picked up on my school this year from last year, because I had to like improve for this program, because this program is about to be good on the field and off the field.
You know, last year we came in, we're in year 10s, but this year it's like we came in, we're doing year 11 now, so it's like a next level, so things are getting like difficult. Next year I want to do like better. I want to come back again for the sport, and then I want to do better in my schoolwork and football like this year. Yeah.
My set for next year is just to, apart from football, is just to try my best in my education, you know, finish off my schoolwork and school stuffs, and yeah, hope for a better future.
Next, we're off to Fiji, which was the first of 3 OFC countries to host Estonia during the European side's tour of Oceania. Following a nervous start that saw them conceding inside 15 minutes, the Fijians showed plenty of promising signs and attacking flair to threaten their opponents. However, the home side was left to rue their missed opportunities as Estonia sealed the victory in the 3rd minute of additional time. In the second match of the Oceania Tour, Estonia was made to work hard again at Port Vila Stadium for a 1-0 win over Vanuatu. Estonia arrived in Noumea aiming for a clean sweep of wins from their Oceania Tour, but the Europeans were forced to settle for a 1-1 draw with a spirited and well-organised New Caledonia side. In women's football, the New Zealand Football Ferns have finished the year on a high note by thrashing Thailand 5-0 in a dominant performance in Bangkok. Ranked 19th in the world, the Kiwis were held to a frustrating 0-0 draw in the opener of their two-match tour. But the Football Ferns produced a far more clinical performance in their second outing to secure their biggest win outside of Oceania in 24 years. American Samoa will host Oceania's first tournament of 2018 to kick off another busy year across the Pacific with the OFC Champions League qualifying stage. The 4-team tournament in Pago Pago will be held between January 20th and 26th, and it will involve the champions of American Samoa, Cook Islands, Samoa and Tonga. The winners and runners-up will join the 14 direct qualifiers in the group stage of the region's premier club competition. And we leave you today with some of the best goals from the 2017 edition of the OFC Champions League. Thanks for watching, and join us again next time for all the latest from Oceania's world of football.